What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of Respect the Game. My name is Edward, named after a real OG, that being my pops. Shout out to my mother and my grandmother for helping raise me too. Make sure you go follow at EMAX Stats for all your up-to-date high school, pro, and collegiate sports coverage. Will not disappoint. We'll keep you up to date on all that is going on in the beautiful, illustrious sports world. Right now, we are not in full strength, but fingers crossed, our brother Shanahan Izzo comes in the building and joins us for this great episode we're about to have on the Super Bowl recap. But nonetheless, we're going to still hold it down, a little 3-on-3 tonight, holding it down for our brother Shanahan Izzo until he gets on. What is a podcast without your brethren?
Yo, it is the host with the plug, also known as Rostadamus, the man that sees the future when it comes to the sports and also even to the musical aspect. Let's go.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you are in the world. It is I, the one and only Sedacious Xavier Miles. And on behalf of me, my brothers, I want to say thank you so much. Please go follow me at I am Sedacious. That's at IAMSEDATAIOUS. coopinc.com. coopinc.com. Let's go, bro.
Yo, unfortunately, our NFL season has come to an end, but I'd be damned if we didn't have a great football season, especially for us Texans fans. And the promises that we have for the near future. Obviously, every year is the year for the Cowboys, so we know y'all are gonna do y'all damnedest Sedacious to be prominent in the regular season next year. Super Bowl has now passed. The Chiefs defeat the San Francisco 49ers 25-22. I believe all of us picked the Chiefs, if I'm not mistaken. I know Isaac picked the Chiefs.
No, yes, Royal Flush.
Royal Flush. There you go. Name of the podcast. Thank you. Of this episode, Royal Flush. Yeah, so we all picked the Chiefs. And my biggest thing that I felt was one of the reasons I picked the Chiefs was, like I said, I did not foresee this defense beating Josh Allen at Josh Allen's house and then overcoming a historic defense and beating the Baltimore Ravens to beat those two guys, or to beat those two defenses and their quarterbacks, and then you fall to Brock Purdy. I could not foresee that for the Kansas City Chiefs defense. And that's partially why I picked them, on top of the fact that I felt as if though Kyle Shanahan was going to come into this game being extremely conservative. And when I said conservative, I talked about, handing it off to Christian McCaffrey in abundance of times. Collectively, Christian McCaffrey had 30 touches. He had 30 touches, 20 plus carries, and maybe 8 receptions or something like that. I'll get the stats here.
For a touchdown.
Once for a touchdown, right, off the trick play from Jennings. So Kyle Shanahan definitely, you know what I'm saying, stuck to his guns and stuck to his prize fighter, and McCaffrey trying to make sure he got him the ball as much as he could. But obviously early on in that first quarter, McCaffrey fumbled. And I talked about Debo. Debo only had 6 touches, 6 rushes, 6 runs. I'm sorry, 3 rushes and 3 catches. Obviously ended up getting injured throughout the course of the game. And Brock Purdy did not play bad in no way, shape, or form. However, horseshoes and hand grenades is the only time almost counts. And therefore, almost playing great doesn't get you the absolute win in this situation of the Super Bowl. And so we're going to take our time here with unpacking the Super Bowl here. So we don't have to necessarily rush or be all over the place. But that's what I saw in terms of how the Chiefs were able to come out and win this game. And obviously, Patrick Mahomes being Patrick Mahomes, of course. But let's start here in terms of our unpacking. Just, give me y'all point of view and how y'all feel like the game, played out that led to the Chiefs win and or the 49ers losing.
I mean,
honestly,
oh,
go ahead, brother.
I kind of feel like it was a very evened out game first half. Um, I feel like the 49ers beat the Chiefs to the trick play because I feel like every Super Bowl has got at least be one trick play. It's two elite teams, two elite offenses, defenses, and it'll kind of be at a stalemate to a certain point. So I think before that it was going to pretty much be a tie game, which it kind of was. It was 3-3 until the trick play. Kind of felt like Edward hit a very good point last week, and also he reminded us that they play very conservative, man. They play very just you know let's play safe. Let's give it to our obvious guys. It's like, no, man, this is the Super Bowl. This is where your role players kick in. Obviously, Jennings, he showed a part of that, but I kind of feel like that should have been a little more initiated at the beginning rather than the obvious. Everybody knows Christian McCaffrey is a one-on-one type running back, and I feel like kind of overuse him with so many touches in the first quarter. Obviously resulted in him in having a fumble. I feel like that was just too safe. It's like you're going against the Chiefs. You know what they're capable of. This is not time to be safe. Like if you know how good they are, it's different. You can, if you don't know how they are, I feel like it's kind of different. You could be a little more conservative because you don't know what to expect. So you're playing it safe, but these guys are winners. They've been there. They lost before in the big stage. So they won, lost, and won again at one point. So it's just like you got to look at the Chiefs to where it's just like, bro, we can't just do no light stuff. We can't play it's like a regular season game. We got to go balls out. We got to honestly, they had to have. They should have took what Dan Campbell did in that last game and apply it to them. Because I feel like Dan Campbell gave the 49ers too much credit. They like to not brag about, they like to say like how he wanted to flex how strong he was about going for it on fourth down, Mr. Dan Campbell. But that was more of him kind of not trusting his defense. Get the field goal, it means you trust your defense to be able to like hold them off. Go for that touchdown, I can't risk it. So I feel like in this case, I feel like Kyle Shanahan should have took a page out of his book in this case. This is the perfect scenario. It's like, no, they're definitely gonna win. Brock Purdy being Brock Purdy, I would not trust that offense to go against the Lions. But you going against Patrick Mahomes, it's a world of a difference. It's like, no, he's gonna go march back down. So I said all that to say, in those closing plays and in the overtime and no, not even, just in overtime, because in regulation they did pretty well. But in overtime, when they went for that field goal for the first go, I feel like they shouldn't have done that. I feel like they should have went all out and went for it. Why would you say that? Because you have Patrick Mahomes on the other side who can do whatever he wants with the ball. He can march whenever he wants, and he can get a first down wherever he wants. He can definitely get him into field goal range. That's without question. So I feel like them kicking that field goal in overtime was the stupidest thing they could have done. I don't even think they would have got it ridiculed as much as they would have, as much as people would have thought. Like, oh man, why would they would have done that? Because they know Patrick Mahomes is that guy who can march down the field whenever he wants and how he wants. So play it safe. I mean, not play it safe. Play it risky. Get your first down, which your team has been doing really well. One of your main role players, Jennings, has been playing his soul off. Like, you're in the perfect position to go for it. So, like I said, when I felt like they took that field goal, that wasn't smart. I feel like that was way too conservative. That played right into what Edward said about how the 49ers are gonna play, and that's how they ended up in the situation they were in. You let Patrick Mahomes, you didn't let him do it. Obviously, he earned it, but Patrick Mahomes marched down there and did what he wanted to do. There was no field goal in his mind. He felt like, I want to get a touchdown. I'm going to get a touchdown. So, yeah.
So first, I say that was like one of the best Super Bowls within the last 10 years. Right? It was electrifying. It was exciting. It was a good little chess match that you wanted to see. I felt like Kansas City would always do what they always do. Um, start out slow, you know what I'm saying, getting their legs under them, trying to figure out what the defense and the offense are trying to do. And in the second half, Andy Reid is still Andy Reid at the end of the day. That's just how I felt about it. I love Kyle Shanahan, but we can't act like Andy Reid ain't went up against the best of the best. You know what I mean? He lost the Super Bowl to Bill Belichick. You know what I mean? So that, right, just the coaching, and then you got Spags over there, and them boys was tired and still balling. You know what I'm saying? Like, I said that. I said it was gonna be that defense, and it was because but they didn't break. And where I really knew the game was over was when the 49ers could have went up 16-17 and they missed their extra point and kept it 16-16. And I'm like, oh, that's not good. Right? Which at the end of it all, that Mahomes magic, you just can't stop it, man. And it's really not on no at this point, man, it's really not preposterous for us to feel how we feel about this guy. You know what I'm saying? He's just that good. You know what I'm saying? And I just knew it was gonna happen. I wasn't worried about the 49ers going down and doing whatever they did in OT because I knew once Patrick had the ball, it was over with. They knew it. It was like a minute 53 left, and he scored with 3 seconds left.
With that being said, do you take that field goal in that first possession against Patrick Mahomes? Or do you honestly risk it all? Like, do you risk it all?
Well,
You talking
honestly, brother,
about you
what
talking
can
about
you?
Darnell? Forgive me, Dacius. You with your question just now, Darnell. You talking about in overtime?
Yes, yes, sir. In
Yeah.
overtime, do you take that field goal opportunity, knowing how the rules work, knowing that if Patrick Mahomes gets a touchdown, game over. But if you score a touchdown, you still can keep playing. You keep playing. You keep going. No big deal.
I
But
think
the
the this was case in point, him playing conservative and not playing to win, but just trying to say, I'm gonna do this. He instead of him trying to go out to win the game, he was hoping eventually the Chiefs would make a mistake or his defense would like make a play. But it's just like
Right.
2 mistakes already. Almost 3. Pacheco with the fumble, Patrick Mahomes interception. How many mistakes do you think they're gonna freaking make? Think of like realistically think about it. 3-time appearing AFC champions, 2-time world champions. How many times are they gonna really mess up?
they kept giving them the nails to put in their coffin.
Like that's what I didn't
Right.
understand.
It's
Like
really, it's really like
time,
they gave them time to come alive.
like it, that's
Without
what I did.
killing them,
Go ahead.
I was going to say, without killing them off, you give them time to come alive. Really, when they kicked that field goal before the end of the first half, I'm like, oh yeah, like y'all sticking around too close to this team. Everybody knows, like, 49ers, don't think that y'all up 10, or was it up 7 going into the half, that like don't feel good about this, right? Because we've seen this from this team, you know. I know it's a sore spot for y'all, but you know, I guess it's good to see the 49ers play around, and don't think it could just happen to the Texans. It could happen to anybody, bro. Like, we don't care.
And
They
guess what?
don't care.
Almost every single flip of the switch is on special teams. You have the Texans with the fake punt, which they made happen on special teams defense. You have the Kadarius Tony return in the Super Bowl last year for the touchdown to kind of think either ice the game or tie it up. And then you have that punt that got fell on that player's foot that got recovered by the
Yep.
Chief. That's crazy, ain't it? Special
And
teams is literally
he got a block field goal too. So yeah.
and the block field goal. Like all of their like that is literally to me that screams out this is a whole scary team you have to worry about. Like other than the Texans this year, this was the one team you have to worry about in all aspects.
In
All
all aspects.
special
Because
teams.
Harrison Butker what he made a 57-yarder?
Bro, I wouldn't be surprised if Patrick Mahomes wasn't Patrick Mahomes and did the magical stuff that he did. Like the kicker could have got it, like because it was that balanced of a game. Like he could have got MVP, bro. Like yeah, Patrick Mahomes is who he is, and he has some pretty great numbers, obviously. But that's what I mean, like the way everybody contributed and the way that's what made me question, like why would you put them in that position? The kicker showed he can kick from anywhere and broke your kicker's record. Hasn't been blocked, made all his extra points. I mean, like I said, like everything about them is just saying they cannot be stopped, and they're getting every opportunity they have that you have had. You guys have not capitalized on.
Nope, didn't
Like
cash in.
you got the kill, or you have just go for it. They asked you in interviews, why did you go for it on this? Because we have Patrick Mahomes we're playing against. He's gonna do what he wants to do, and there's nothing we can do about it. Like at the end of the day.
Yeah, man. I mean, at this point, I'm not going to be mad at someone who says Patrick Mahomes is better than Tom Brady. I'm not going to be mad at that. It's going to suck. I'm not going to want to debate it because it's too much to get into. I'm not going to say it's true. I'm not going to say it's false. I'm just going to say I'm not going to be mad at the fan out there who really feels like he can pump his chest out like that because, man, I'm sorry, man.
Welcome to the
That
new
boy,
LeBron conversation, brother.
yeah, that's
That
what
is
I
the
said.
Jordan and
Yeah,
LeBron. It's Mahomes and Brady. Because that's literally where they're at. Like,
yeah.
scary. I mean, because people often forget how the paths they went. Like, Jordan just didn't jump into it and start getting championships his first years.
Right.
It took him like 6 or 7 years. Then he started getting to the finals, started winning championships with the woo. Same thing with Tom Brady and them. Like, Tom Brady, I think, had like I think he didn't play the first year, or he got thrown mid season or late season when he played with the Patriots to start playing. Like,
No, it was the late season. Drew Bledsoe was before him.
yeah,
So speaking about the Jordan and LeBron debate or the Kobe Jordan debate, and being the greatest, obviously Tom Brady will always have that icing on the cake of beating Patrick Mahomes in the head-to-head Super Bowl match, right? Understanding the Chiefs were depleted, so on and so forth, but nonetheless, the Bucks and led by Tom Brady won that Super Bowl, right? However, uh, and I don't know if y'all seen this in the comments, but Harold H3 Dimensions, appreciate you engaging with the content, bro. Uh, Posing the question, hey, does Patrick Mahomes need seven if Patrick Mahomes doesn't need 7, how many exactly does he need? Also factoring in his full body of work to surpass Tom Brady, right? And Harold, he was like, hell no, he needs 8. That's the only way he could do it. However, right? However, I believe that if Patrick Mahomes three-peats, that will hold a heavy amount of weight to account for like 2 extra Super Bowls that Tom Brady has. Factoring in the full body of work and the statistics that's going to come with him three-peating. If Patrick Mahomes happens to three-peat next year, would he truly at that point need, let's say, even 6 Super Bowls to surpass Tom Brady if he
No,
three-peats?
no, no.
like what's the
That
is it
my
is he
premise is he what?
like what's the Zach like what's the last question? Like what's the delivered question?
If Patrick Mahomes three-peats next year, would that be enough for him to surpass Tom Brady, given that nobody has ever three-peated? in the history of the NFL?
Yes.
Yes.
Only because competition and the rate of the competition and potential of
Yeah.
the, if that makes like his potential, like at this point, like, because if he wins a three-piece, like, dude, what scare, like, you haven't even gotten to like wisdom area yet. You're still prime. Wisdom hasn't even
I
came
would
yet.
say still entering, like flirting with prime. I wouldn't even say he fully prime yet. He's just like that gifted. I personally feel like to where it's just like, because
The
Patrick
play,
Mahomes is what, 27, 26?
28.
yeah, he's 28, like that, because the plateau kind of goes like you rookie, then you kind of rise, then you get to this point of like your prime, and then you kind of wisdom part. That's not even a down. It's more like a.
I feel like 28 to 23 is like his golden years. Like is like as a already proven veteran, but like I feel like that's primal, like optimal level performance, 28 to 33, given like, the brutality that comes with playing the sport of football and the physicality. Um, but yeah,
Yeah. No. Simply because what? No. It's like no. Three. What you went to today's NFL with all 31 of them other teams, and you got 3 chips back to back to back.
bro.
Like
And
what?
my memory doesn't serve me well with the type of defenses that Tom Brady had to go through his journey. But get this too. It's 2 points I want to make to this in terms of talking about Patrick Mahomes being deemed better and surpassing Tom Brady. Uh, like I said, my memory doesn't serve me well, so we would have to like go backtrack to see like how elite the defenses were that Tom Brady went through. But also too, when you think about, all right, Patrick Mahomes just went through a historic defense in the Baltimore Ravens, first time ever in NFL history with the Triple Crown. Um, fewest points allowed per game, fewest uh, yards allowed per game, as well as the most amount of takeaways. No defense has had been number one at all three in one single season. So Patrick Mahomes took down that defense. Um, but check this out, right? To help Patrick's case, and this obviously is no slight to Tom Brady. We just love the conversation and the what ifs that come with it, come with the game. If Patrick Mahomes not only, and maybe not even if he three-peats, but this for the hypothetical, if he three-peats next year, right? And let's say he begins to go unblemished for the rest of his career when he goes to the Super Bowl, or let's say he three-peats and never goes back to the Super Bowl, right?
Mhm.
Can you really fault a man for losing to, i.e., Tom Brady, the GOAT? If Tom Brady can be the GOAT and have lost to Eli Manning twice, why can't Patrick Mahomes be the GOAT when he's only lost to Tom Brady once? And so I think about that dynamic as well in terms of like, trying to crown Patrick above Tom Brady as the greatest to ever do it at the quarterback position. But yeah, I just want to throw that out there.
Tom Brady lost to a system. Patrick Mahomes lost to a opponent, to a head to head, if that makes any sense. That was the actual like first. That's the actual issue he had to get past. It wasn't like a certain, because that was Tom Brady's issue. He couldn't get past a certain like team. It was, yeah, Eli was part of that team, but it had nothing to necessarily do with him. That New York Giants team knew how to figure him out. If you ever watch both of those games side by side, you'll see literally Tom Brady going through the exact same emotions, and everything when he lost against New York. And even with the similarities when he went up against Philadelphia and he lost, it was just like they all knew something about somebody in that personnel knew how to figure out how to beat him. So that's kind of different. But when it comes to the whole Patrick Mahomes thing, it was more like who's the better chessman in this situation, because those games usually were close. Or the Super Bowl necessarily wasn't, but the it was definitely some chess in it. It was definitely like some head to head. me and you. I didn't see that when I with the Giants versus the Patriots. I never seen that. It was like, yeah, they just don't like time. Like they know how to stop time. Eli just over there, just a casualty to. He just like he's just a person that just collecting the money. Like, okay, I'll collect the dubs, but I didn't really do much. Yes, he did, because I can't forget the miraculous catch and everything. But I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying Eli didn't beat him.
He
The
didn't do
Giants.
too much. He didn't do
Sorry.
too much. Michael Strahan was on Tom Brady's hinds.
Yeah, I got to defend the goat
That
right now.
defense was elite that year. That
Both,
defense was elite that year. That Giants defense, yes, for sure, for sure, for sure.
but to kind of at least get my last little opinion on it, it's one of those things where, like, shoot, man, like that 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 does blemish. Like, he would literally have to do a lot of work. It does blemish his legacy, him losing the time. Because at the end of the day, he lost to Tom at his, I can't say his weakest, but he lost him at a point of like your father versus the son. Like, you'll never beat me level. That's how he beat Patrick Mahomes. Cause like, you got all this youth and everything on your side, the team and talented players, but bro, I beat you with wisdom. Your dad's not gonna beat you off of like talent and physical, not talent, but off of physical ability. He's gonna beat you off of wisdom, and that's what happened. And that it just like that's what's gonna haunt him. That's what's gonna like beat him. It's like, no, he wasn't more athletic than you. He wasn't this. He wasn't that. He just knew more than you, and that's
It's just if me up against your defense, you up against my defense, I'm taking your defense out, and my defense is ready for you, and you ain't got no protection, so they own you. They own you.
yeah.
My boy was
So
throwing. My boy was throwing passes horizontally during that goddamn Super Bowl. It's like, yeah, no.
Hey, since we started the pod, I don't know what y'all records are, but since we started the pod for the past 3 years, Sean Hart Izzo is 2-1, and I'm 3-0 for Super Bowl picks.
I couldn't call it. I would,
like I'm
me
at five.
personally.
Either
We have to go back and pull the tape.
either I know I got at least one. Obviously, I got one under my belt. I feel like I got another one too. I think I'm like 2-1 as well.
We're going to last three. So I picked the Chiefs. I picked
Like versus the
the Chiefs.
Bucks.
I picked the Chiefs. I picked the Chiefs.
Yeah,
Chiefs.
and I already missed that one.
Chiefs, and I picked was it the Rams?
I picked the Rams. I think I did.
Chiefs.
Who did
And
the Rams
no,
play that year?
I went Joe
It
Burrow.
it was the Eagles. I mean, not the Eagles, the Bengals that year.
Yeah, I went Joe Burrow, so I'm 2-1.
Hold on, I may be lying. I may be 2-1. So I'll have to go pull the tape.
Wait,
Because I feel like I probably picked the Bengals because they beat the Chiefs. And I was just like, well, since you beat Patrick Mahomes, you should do it. But I'm not sure. Yeah, I gotta go pull the tape on all of us. But that year, Bucks versus the Chiefs, I picked Tom Brady. And I don't remember that Bengals Rams game exactly.
yep.
And this year I picked the Chiefs.
Oh shucks.
Eagles. Chiefs.
I picked the Chiefs because we all picked the Chiefs, but to win the Super Bowl
That year against the Bucks.
The Chiefs versus the Bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was gloating about you can't stay that man.
Yeah, man. I was trying to throw Tom out the window, bro. Okay.
So I
Darnell.
think Brock Purdy. Oh my bad. What happened?
Oh, I was supposed to go there with Brock Purdy. I was going to say, Darnell, you had some comments during the Super Bowl in the group chat about Brock Purdy. I don't know if you still feel comfortable or you still stand by that sentiment. I won't hold it against you. However, it brings up the question after this Super Bowl, after Cam Newton Cam Newton and people like Shannon Sharp saying, hey, we're not calling him elite. In no way are we saying he's trash, but we're not fit to call him the elite of the elitists when it comes to quarterbacks that we've seen in this league, past and also currently. With that being said, Cam Newton uses the term game manager versus game changer. Um, or we could categorize that as saying is Brock Purdy top five? Has he proven to be top five after this run he's had? Last year he got hurt as they were in pursuit to try to get to the Super Bowl, ended up losing to the Eagles. But do you still not still after this Super Bowl performance? Do you consider Brock Purdy to be a game changer or game manager, and or do you view him to be top 10, top five quarterback in the league after this Super Bowl performance?
He's a game changer loading, and also he is top 10 with the potential of being a top 5 quarterback. Only because Kyle Shanahan won't let him off the leash. Plain and simple. He won't let him get triggered. He won't let him be able to make his mistakes. He won't let him be able to use his weapons to the ability of his leisure. He's under his thumb, and I feel like, dude, just let the guy rock. He feels confident. He's not scared. He's willing to run into one of the most toughest defenses out there in the Super Bowl. I mean, dude, he has no turnovers. What more do you want from him to show like, man, just give me a chance? I don't think he'll be hurt by getting that one interception in the biggest game of one of the biggest games of his life when the opponent who's supposed to be the GOAT or the next GOAT being has already thrown an interception. I feel like you should have given him a little bit more leeway. Like, he threw one, why won't you let me be able to throw one or put us in a position to be overly aggressive? So I feel like, yes, what I said.
All right, so real quick before you go, Dacius, we're not taking Brock Purdy over Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is one. Then that brings into question number two, which I feel like it's fair that we would say that's a unanimous your MVP and Lamar Jackson. So we're not taking Brock Purdy over Lamar Jackson. If you haven't noticed yet, this is Houston. I wouldn't say Houston based podcast because that's not the case, but we are from Houston, so we're gonna always, look to our Houston Texans. We're not taking him above CJ Stroud. If y'all are, just interject me and tell me I'm wrong. A healthy Joey Crack, who has been the only one to be able to beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. I don't think we're taking him before Joey Crack, Joe Burrow, that is. All right. Then after those four, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, CJ Stroud, Joe Burrow, do you take him before Jalen Hurts? Or you taking Jalen Hurts before Brock Purdy? Because that's really your Lamar Jackson, too. That's like Lamar Jackson.
Josh Allen
Where
and
you
all.
get Jalen Hurts from?
Huh?
Josh Allen, sir. Don't
Yeah,
don't do that.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen before Jalen Hurts?
Do that.
Yeah.
Okay. I really wasn't trying to put this in like numerical order. I was just going with like the obvious.
No, that's the numerical order right there.
With the obvious.
All
That's the
right.
numerical order right there. That's it. Them the top 5 quarterbacks
So
in the
Patrick,
league.
Lamar, CJ, Joey Craig, Josh Allen.
Patrick, Lamar, Joe Burrow, CJ, Josh Allen.
Okay. I'm not doing a miracle. I'm just doing 5 top, but okay. Okay,
That's the order that it goes in. And I'll debate that all day.
Okay, and you said that's just Patrick, Lamar, Joey Craig, CJ, and then Josh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the top 5. That's the top 5. Okay, so Purdy is not in that class. All right. So then we have 6 through 10 that we have to work with, right? And I just looked at some names and tell me yay or nay or whoever. So then there's Jalen Hurts in that bottom 6 through 10.
There's Jordan Love in that 6 through
Bro,
10.
I'm not doing no particular order. He's on my list. Jordan Love is on my list. He's on the
Like,
list.
bro, God, dog.
He's
Like,
on the list.
what are we doing?
Yeah. All right. So okay. So obviously you're trying to stick it to make sure it goes in
Well,
numerical
that's
order.
because I'm going in like my
Okay. All right. So we're gonna let you lead the dance. All right. 6 through 10. Jordan Love. Give me your 7 then.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts is your 7.
No. Sorry. Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert, he's a gunslinger. He's not.
I don't know. What other quarterback left, brother, do you put over Justin Herbert? That's what I would ask you.
Bernell, you pondering?
Because that's my dog. Justin Herbert's my dog. You ain't putting Baker. You ain't putting Kyler. You ain't putting Deshaun. Right? Who else you not putting? You're not putting Dak. You're not putting Sam Howell. You're not putting Daniel Jones.
Trevor?
You're not. Are you? I'm not putting Trevor Lawrence. I'm not putting Trevor Lawrence. I'm not doing that boy over there in Carolina.
Bryce
I'm
Young.
not doing the boy in Atlanta. I'm not doing David Carr.
Damn, Justin.
Justin Sedacious makes a great case for you. So at 6, we got Jordan Love, 7, Justin Herbert, 8.
Oh no, we're not gonna do this. We're not gonna do this.
What quarterback else forgetting?
Jared Goff. Absolutely, we're not gonna do it. My time to stand on that. Jared motherfucking Goff. Yes, sir.
So Jared Goff is going before. No, wait, whoa. Because if we go Jared Goff, then Josh Allen might have to come out of 5.
No, I'm not. He's not there yet. Not quite. I mean, I respect.
What?
And he run.
Jared Goff ain't better than Josh Allen, bro?
Huh?
Jared Goff ain't better than Josh Allen?
He's not. He's too. Josh Allen brings too much to the table. I'm sorry. His running ability just it edges him off. Pause. Like it's just a little too much.
All right. I give you that. Bro,
I definitely know what Jared. Running ability, he did a 50
all right,
yard.
I'll give you that. I give you that. You know how I feel about Josh Allen, so I give you that.
In my opinion, if Josh Allen couldn't run, I would definitely go with Jared Goff.
Okay, so Josh Allen, then Jared Goff, and then Jordan Love, and then Justin Herbert, and then Jalen Hurts.
I can agree with that. I can rock with that.
So what number is that? That's 8.
Hold on, I'm about to round it off. Give me you said number 1 is Patrick, 2 Lamar, 3 Burrow, 4 CJ, Josh Allen 5. Who you got at 6?
Jared Goff.
Goff at 6. 7.
Jordan Love.
8.
Justin Herbert.
9.
Jalen Hurts.
Lucky number 10.
And we in there. Yes, sir. Yes, we is.
Keep in mind, that's with Shanahan with his finger under him. That says a lot in my opinion.
So he cracks.
No.
So he cracks 10.
No.
Which
He does not crack 10. That nigga can sit at 11. That nigga can sit at 11.
Oh, so when you say we in there,
that's for
that. When you say we in there, that's for that.
Yes.
I'm just making sure.
Okay, Darnell, why not?
Because he is game away in a big situation. Even though it's a short time.
Okay, so all right. We're talking about
But
Brock Purdy being a better quarterback than Dak Prescott.
I'm sorry, bro. Like, I'm not even trying to be disrespectful, but Purdy has never given the game away single-handedly in a big game. Yes, he has done it before, but you can have a highlight reel of how many times Dak has like given the game away. That's my thing. I'm like,
that's because he's dynamic.
one way to call it.
Because it's because he's dynamic. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
I hate to
respectfully,
say it.
I'm like realistically, respectfully disagree.
Hey, and I feel that. I feel that. But you just sat up here and told me that the only reason Brock Purdy is getting success is because he's in the system that he's in. If I had an offense that was paint by numbers, I think I'd be pretty good too. I think the rest of these quarterbacks that we talked about, if you input them into Kyle Shanahan's system, they would probably score more points.
I disagree because Garoppolo had a taste at it. Trey had a taste.
So you said Garoppolo is okay.
That's what
They shipped him out because his arm was weak. They got Brock Purdy because his arm gets the ball where it needs to be when Kyle Shanahan needs it to be there. It's a set. You know what I'm saying? It's the reason why Brock Purdy wasn't sacked so much. It's the reason why Chris Jones was upset because Brock Purdy got it in his mind, his head in practice. 1, 2, 3, go. I got these plays set up for you. When you hike that ball, it's 1, 2, 3, go. He doesn't have options. He doesn't have options when he goes.
Yeah, to this, I agree. When I was watching the game, I was just like, there's no way the relationship between Brock Purdy and Kyle Shanahan, when they go to the line of scrimmage, there's no way Brock Purdy is calling any type of audibles. I don't believe that to be the case.
No, he doesn't have options. He doesn't have options. He goes, run this, because I've already studied, right? And I'm going to see what they disguise and what they can move the disguise into. This play is going to work for if they're disguising or if they're actually going to disguise and move it to a different formation. That person ain't going to be open or this person going to be open. Your first two, in Kyle Shanahan's offense, the first two reads are going to be open. The reason why you need to have a good quarterback is so they can go 1, 2, 3, 4, dump off. 1, 2, 3, 4, dump off. Brock Purdy, all he has to do is 1, not there, 2, always there on time. Or 1, right there, Christian McCaffrey, we're going to get 20 yards out of that. Or Debo, or Jennings, or Ayuk. It's set up that way. It's a system for a reason.
But can you respect the fact of the negativity? I understand he's trying to be dynamic. He's trying to be a game changer. But the fact that he has so much negative flaws of it, it's like, dog, like.
Bro, that became Cam Newton after a while, for real.
Huh?
That became Cam Newton after a while, for real.
And did we see where he's at? He wants to play so much, but he is on a show talking how he feels.
But he was an MVP, though.
Absolutely.
I don't think it changes his dynamics, though. That's what I'm saying, bro. I get where you at. I get where you at because you are a Tom Brady nigga. You know what I'm saying? Forget how good you are. What gets us the W, right? But what we're saying is, without it being a team sport, with the individual talents and athleticism, that's just how I see these quarterbacks.
And I also see, and the thing about it is too, I see the potential of, yes, you're going in the system, but I see a potential of like a sense of fearlessness of like
a game winner, yeah, a dog, right. But we don't really get to see that from Brock Purdy because there's no improvisation too much in his game. It's all set for him.
But it's just like, you know what? Prime example. When you brought this up earlier this week when we talked on the phone, when Rajon Rondo played with the Celtics first year, went to the finals. He was nobody. Yes, he still did. He made it. Exactly. System. He didn't get a chance to Doc said, you know what? Do your thing. That's what I feel like is the scenario. It's like, bro, he's great. He's a good player. He's not messing up, but you never gave him the chance to actually do anything yet. He playing around great. Like, why are you gonna say, you know what, take over? But dude, we got great players already. Like,
what Rondo would you rather have had? The Rondo with the Celtics or the Rondo with the Lakers?
But also, too, you have to remember, or two at the same time, though. Brock Purdy didn't get a full whole season. You got a half a season. Kyle wasn't sure. So I respect him holding him back. But at the same time, though, it's like in certain scenarios, you got to just put all on the line. That was my point. But to go back, though, it's like he only had half a season last year, bro. He didn't have a full season of like, oh, man, this is his year. No, he had half a season last year, got hurt. So now you go into a season hurt or potentially like damaged goods. Okay, you're doing well, doing well. Let's just not mess it up. Because last time he got hurt, everything crumbled for various reasons, but they crumbled. So it's just like, I think Kyle was like, dude, let's just see how it goes. Playing you chill. I think he may be looking into the future to a certain extent. That's why he played it so conservative. Like this ain't gonna be the last time. But at the same time, though, it's just like, let the man play, dude. Let him cook. Like this was the time to let him show up. Forget not for the naysayers or for Cam Newton or anybody like that. It was just like, no, this I believe in you. He showed he could. He's been getting VP the like majority of the season, and you didn't let him cook. That doesn't make any sense. People are saying something, you're not letting them do it.
There were I think Brock Purdy played as good. You could either say Brock Purdy played as good as he was going to play, or Brock Purdy played as good as Kyle Shanahan was going to allow him to play. Now, I believe that Brock Purdy has some key. I think he deserves an immense amount of credit when the Chiefs took the lead. When they took the lead off the Marquez Scantley touchdown, and they went up 13-10. I believe it was 13-10. Brock Purdy went right down the field and
marched
tied
down
the
the
game.
field. Yeah.
Like, yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Like, so he didn't blink or flinch at all. And then like you account for the fact that he didn't turn the ball over, right? However, if you want to hold the Deebo Samuel pass against him, fine, sure, cool. However, to be the man, and this is also too what I feel we have to be careful of. Now, if he's not in the top 10, fine, like that doesn't hurt my feelings. But I don't think the bar for Brock Purdy should be, can you beat Patrick Mahomes to be elite? Because these other guys that we have considered top 5, top 10 haven't been able to beat Brock Purdy. I mean, haven't been able to beat Patrick Mahomes, and they're still considered elite. So I think we just have to make sure it's fair. And when and or if Brock Purdy does get the leash taken off of him, and Kyle Shanahan begins to allow him to improvise and go through 1, 2, 3, 4, cook, go ahead, cook, scramble, go out there and do your thug thizzle. If that opportunity does come for Brock Purdy, I think we owe him a service to not move the goalposts. You know what I'm saying?
So, yeah, I understand that, but we would have to have other teams be interested in him after Kyle Shanahan has no more use for him.
Then that's true too. That's a part too. I mean, like there was that debate between, is it Brady? Is it Bill Belichick? When Brady left, we got to see, oh, that's Thomas Patrick Edward Brady. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
Brock Purdy
when Jimmy G left the 49ers and went to the Raiders, oh yeah, no, it was Kyle Shanahan. That's exactly who that was.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and before I would have translated the fact that like, oh, well, he's winning, it's got to be him, to like really trying to respect the game to its fullest capability and its highest altitude, to like understand like the X's and O's and like all the 11 men who have a job to make sure that you look good. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man. Yeah. So I'm fine. I'm cool with Brock Purdy not being top 10. It doesn't hurt my feelings.
He can be top 10.
If and when he does crack somebody's top 10, I won't even say if and when the next season comes around and he's playing great and prolific, yeah, like we can't move the goalposts on him if he's just is like putting up the numbers. We can't move the goalposts. Like, again, granted, having a Christian McCaffrey helps 1,010%. So we're not going to negate or ignore that fact. Having a
And a Debo Samuel
on cue, right? And having a Debo Samuels, that makes it a ton of easy. Kyle Shanahan's playmaking scheme prowess, being up there with the elite of the elitists. That makes it a lot easy for you, Brock Purdy, and especially when you look at your schedule and y'all not necessarily going against like prominent defenses. This is like, oh, let's go ahead and kill them, be done with them by the second quarter, by halftime, and we out of here. So yeah, man, Brock Purdy had his moment. I feel like to be like elite or be in that top 10 unquestionably or what have you. I think it's just like, I mean, those one or two throws that you get that you like gotta convert on that you didn't, you know what I'm saying? And that was like I guess you could say that was a fault of you. It was a 4th and 4 that he converted on with George Kittle, right? Like that was a big time throw. Him being in sync with Jennings, him being in sync with Ayuk. Like I say, I was very impressed when Patrick Mahomes them scored off the Marquez Valdez-Scantling touchdown. He didn't blink. He went right down the field. Also, and tied the game up. Well, no, scored back, but they had
they got the field goal blocked.
They got the field goal blocked. And so yeah, man. Brock Purdy overall in the game, in terms of efficiency, and there were a plethora of 3 and outs for them. 3 and 12 on third down conversions. Brock Purdy. 3 and 12 on third down conversion. Obviously, like some of those you gotta get to keep the drive.
You gotta convert those.
You gotta convert those to keep the drive alive. And you can add something to it, Darnell, if you had something else to say.
Now, I'm not taking it away from Brock Purdy, bro. I mean, I get where y'all at. My boy balled, man. The only reason he don't got a Super Bowl is because of Patrick Mahomes. That's his fault. But the boy played good enough. Excuse me. The man played good enough to win that Super Bowl. It's just your team has to get the ball back to that guy. That's all. That's the only reason y'all ain't win.
And that's why.
You can't take Brock Purdy left it all on that gridiron, man, and you can't take that away from him.
He did
even with the scheme and all of that. Yeah, Kyle Shanahan is scheming it. My boy still got to go out there, get pressured, and make those plays. So I definitely get where y'all coming from, bro. I definitely get it.
Now, like I said, not even just do it out of like, oh man, let me just give you some respect. No, I will put Dak at a strong 11, like unmovable. Like I am the guardian of the 10. Like for real.
Over there where you at?
They just say
that in the name of Jesus.
we said
you know what? I'll let that be until next Sunday because I don't go back to being back on my bandwagon until next Sunday. I give it a Sunday after the Super Bowl. So I'll let that be for right now. The next Sunday, my boy the best quarterback in the league again. I don't give a damn what y'all say.
Brock Purdy, 255 passing yards for 1 touchdown, 89.3 rating overall, and a 69.8 QBR. Yeah, and I guarantee you, and it would be an accurate guarantee. That was the most passes Brock Purdy threw all season, 38. I lied. The most he threw was 39. Yeah, the most he threw was 39 against the Green Bay Packers.
He was close.
Yeah, I was close. I was one off. All right, so we talked about Brock Purdy. But now the focus shifts to Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan is the offensive coordinator for the Falcons going up against the Patriots, up 28-3. They lose their game. Up 10 in the fourth quarter against Patrick Mahomes in 2020 with Jimmy Garoppolo. They lose their Super Bowl. Up again, your defense gets you 2 takeaways. and you go in overtime, and you elect to get the ball first. However, and then you talk about them possibly going up 4 as opposed to 3, but they had the blocked extra point. Is it possible that it's just not meant to be for Kyle Shanahan to win a Super Bowl?
This would be a good time to have Christian on the podcast, boy. Well, I'll tell you. And because, bro, I mean, that's really what it is. I'm sorry, bro. We all know that offense never won no championships. They just score points. Yeah, cool. Score points. But then the other team can score points. But then the other team got defense. Now, don't get me wrong. San Francisco's defense was top tier this year. It's just something about Kansas City's defense. They had a different type of engine this year, right? And that engine went up against Brock Purdy. And that good defense went up against the best offense. Well, the best offensive player that is. And at that point, it don't cancel out to me. At that point, Kansas City has the edge. At that point, whatever defense is playing the best has the edge. Quote unquote, the Patriots. You know what I'm saying? Like, sorry, Kyle Shanahan, but bro, I'm an offensive guy. Like, I play wide receiver going up. I am a skills guy, right? But in this game that we love called football, we know what it is, man. We know what it is. It's about that D. Pause.
I would definitely say that it's about definitely pause. But I definitely would say it's he's overly offensively minded, so it's either overly aggressive or even conservative. And what he has to realize is the Chiefs beat Kyle Shanahan, not the offense, not the defense, the Chiefs. And that's what he has to realize. Like, just like you said, when the whole Patriot situation, not with Patriot situation, it's like he thought like, oh, our offense is gonna do this, and we're gonna, we're gonna put so many numbers up on them. It's like we got them. It's like no, you have to play defense as well, and the offense has to feed off of the defense. It can't be two individual teams. You know what I'm saying? They have to work together. So, prime example, I work at a company where there's 3 different locations. We are 3 different companies, but at the end of the day, we still have to work cohesive together to be a strong force. The moment we start acting like we're all separate, the more we're divided and we'll be more vulnerable. The fact that we work together as a cohesive team, we're a strong force that can't be stopped.
Yeah.
So when we think like, oh, one's better than the other, that's when things start messing up. It's like, no, we're a great team. Just like I pointed out earlier, their offense, defense, and their special teams were all clicking. And that's what makes a great team. Like when you just, oh, our offense is great, that's fine. Or our defense is great, that's fine. But are they working together? When they get those turnovers, are they capitalizing? And vice versa. If the offense does get a fumble, if they defense backing them up, saying, you know what, we got you. We're gonna hold a defensive stand. That's the difference. You can have a nicely skilled defense, but they're not working off of each other's energy. It's pointless. That's one thing I noticed with the Chiefs. It's like, guys, prime example, the special teams fed off of the offense energy. So you know what? We didn't get it there. Punter, punt the ball to the spot to where the defense to where our kickers. The punter didn't do that on accident. I'll tell you that for sure. He punted it to where, okay, the runner's going to be able to get there and it's going to be able to fall on them or be in danger to hit a person on the team. That was not no coincidence. If you know anything about football, punters ain't just out there kicking the ball. It's a certain way they're doing it. And for them to understand, like, okay, it's all on you. We need you to like either pin them in or we can need some contact or we need some kind of defensive play. That was planned out. You know what I'm saying? Like, so and at the least get them to muff it. But at the end of the day, it's like that was part of the plan. It's like, no, we're not giving up on any parts of our game, whether it's special teams, defense, or offense. And that's how they literally won. Like, oh, working defense work. Defense ain't working, special teams. Special teams ain't working. Like, whatever. Individual show up.
It always killed me. See, I feel like I've never seen Steve Wilkes. I've never seen them put the camera on Steve Wilkes into the Super Bowl. Every Kansas City Chiefs game, Andy Reid gets some camera time, and Steve Spagnuolo gets some camera time. Every 49ers game, the only person they had a camera on is Kyle Shanahan. How y'all wait for the last game to get a brother some love? No, I don't give a damn, right? And so, but I wanted to have this sidebar. Remember the Titans who when he told them they score again, I'm taking over. That's how I felt like Dan Quinn was talking to Kyle Shanahan when the Falcons was losing. They score again, I'm taking over. Come on, Dan Quinn. Oh, I'm glad he out of here too. We didn't fire him. He got a head coaching job in Washington. I'm glad we got rid of him because for some reason he don't like to stop the run. I don't understand that.
And something as
But
well,
yeah,
great teams, you notice that they show the whole entire coaching about the whole entire game. The Texans are starting to get that trend as well. We get our offensive coordinator involved in the shots a lot, and we get our special teams involved in our shots a lot. You just don't see D'Amico. You see like the whole team often because of their production. Same thing with the Chiefs. I didn't see nobody else from San Francisco as far as coaching get like pointed out or zoomed in on. That same thing happened with the Patriots. Their coaching staff would get pointed out a lot. It wasn't just Bill Belichick. And that's one thing I've noticed. Like those championship teams and those dynasties, like you're not just pointing out the one head guy. It's like, no, it's a team effort. Like, no, that
Eric Bieniemy used to get some love.
dude, huh?
Eric Bieniemy used to get some love when he was in Kansas City.
Bro, and it's not looking great for him to leave and them to go on a two-peat. It's not looking good for him, bro. I wish he would have just stayed because now they really gonna be like,
he's the OC. He's the OC in Washington, I believe.
He just got let go because they got a new head coach and he got let go.
Dan Quinn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad. I'm glad. Get Dan Quinn out of here. He killing Michael Parsons' career right now. But yeah, so Christian, it's looking like your boy ain't it, brother. Leave a comment. Leave a comment. Talk to you in the comments. Well, beautiful people. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, brother.
I said he needs to go back to the drawing board and be an offensive coordinator.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I think in the head is a little too much, especially as of late. I feel like he does have great schemes. I just feel like he needs to work a little bit more on that craft to be able to be a better game manager. And with the spectacular plays, like you got the great plays, but something about the fact that you keep losing says something that just ain't right.
And that's the thing. I feel like Kyle Shanahan has learned all the football and the scheme that he's gonna learn throughout the entirety of his life.
You think so?
Bro, I do.
I think what Darnell is saying is essential because if he can learn both sides of the ball as well as he knows offense, I think that's better decision making when it comes to being a head coach. Now, if he's gonna be
keep going. I'm sorry.
As he is, as offensive minded as he is, it looked like he don't give a shit about the defense. Excuse my language, but that's how it be looking.
What you mean when you say that?
Time management, positions of how you're gonna lead.
Like you feel like he doesn't call plays from a defensive thought process. Is that what you're saying?
I feel like when Brock Purdy and them boys is on the field, you see he be attentive, right? On his card. When his defense is playing, he's watching the game like us, nigga.
I mean, yeah, bro, it's tough because like even going back to the Brock Purdy conversation, you down 24-7 to the Lions, and like you call plays from the heavens to like find a way to win y'all that game. However, we could argue that's a lot on that. Some of that has to do with Dan Campbell helping them. But for you to be, it's like calling Steph Curry the greatest shooter of all time, but Steph has never made a game-winning shot. That's what I feel like is like at hand with Kyle Shanahan. You're supposed to be this magnificent play caller, this brilliant offensive mind, and you can't find a way to get the ball in the end zone when you absolutely need to, and you're having chance after chance after chance after chance after chance inside the red zone. Inside the red zone. So it's like at some point, I don't know, bro. I mean, you can still go in the Hall of Fame without winning the championship, but like at some point, you like you
It was
you like you think about like, oh man, like Jimmy Garoppolo, oh man, it's Brock Purdy. Like, could Kyle Shanahan be the problem? I know that sounds crazy. I know it sounds
no.
crazy,
I
but
don't think I don't think Kyle Shanahan is the problem, brother. I think the Chiefs and
are
their
that
head coach
good?
is a problem. I think they're a problem.
So this,
You
so
see what I'm
so you
saying?
feel, so you feel this was more so a situation of the Chiefs winning the game as opposed to Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers losing it?
I think Andy Reid spanked. I think I think Andy Reid spanked on Steve Wilkes, and I think Steve Spagnuolo spanked on Kyle Shanahan. I think in that game within a game, right?
That chess match.
This two coach tandem is outclassing these two coach tandems, right? It's almost like the old dudes spanked on the young bucks in the Super Bowl. I'm sorry, Kyle Shanahan, you ain't have enough, and Andy Reid had it all. Steve Wilkes, you ain't have enough, and Spags had them boys going. You see what I'm saying? And you got to think about this regime over here has a championship DNA. I've been saying this for the last 3 weeks. This regime over here don't have no championship DNA. Yeah, they got good football, right? But championship DNA, that's what they went up against for real. They went up against someone who's seen it all, because once you win so many championships, bro, you're gonna see more than the people who don't excel as far as you go. So you're gonna have more tricks up your sleeve than someone who hasn't been as far as you have. And that's just really what it was. And you can see it. You can see that the Chiefs was not phased at all. Like, they was really on some, we've been here-ish. Debo over there biting his fingers. You know what I'm saying? George Kittle over there biting his fingers.
We're
Like, yeah.
gonna slowly wrapping up the show. Slowly wrapping up the show. Say we was gonna go a little long because it is the Super Bowl recap final game of the NFL season. So just bear with me, fellas. Um, Still talking about Shanahan. What do y'all believe? I get this to you, Darnell. What do y'all believe was the biggest mistake outside of like the Chiefs being the Chiefs and that chess match between the coach and staffs? What do y'all feel like was the biggest mistake in the Super Bowl?
Mistake. Oh yeah, just receiving the ball in overtime. Knowing
Do you think that's a hindsight? Do you think people are in an uproar with the
no, as
hindsight, or do you think that should have been?
soon as they even accepted it, the announcer himself even said, like, why did they accept it? Like, they
yeah, yeah, yeah. Jim Nance did say with the new
had
Super Bowl rules, you would think that they would want to give the ball
yeah,
away.
chance the last laugh moment. Like, no, you let him score first, and then you just pray that you make it. Like, no, he's gonna do what he needs to do. Like, nothing about him says, "Oh, I'm a choke." Like, he's
Man,
technically just been out pressured.
I
Think
was gonna
about
say that blocks.
think about
What's
that.
that, bro? Yeah.
He's he's never choked. He's just been out pressured. Patrick
Um,
the Big Show has never actually choked. He's just been out pressured. So when the Bucks beat him, they out pressured him. It wasn't him. Oh man, he didn't know what to do. It's like no, dude, he couldn't think. Like he got out pressured. Like he's throwing sideways. Like
Yeah.
out. Oh, I choked up in this position. Like no, he knows what to do when it comes to the show. He gets time. It's over.
uh,
Yeah.
it's hard for me to say. Um, if I had to say that there was a mistake, because I really feel like both teams played a perfect game. It's Patrick Mahomes. But if I had to say that there was a mistake, bro, I would say that fourth down. where they kick the field goal instead of going for it in OT. Because, like Darnell said, the new overtime rules, if they go and score a touchdown and the Chiefs score a touchdown, you know what I'm saying? That's just if you're going to rely on your defense, why not go for it, see if you can get it and get the touchdown.
So you really trust your defense.
Right, it's really show that you
And
trust
it was mentioned with Andy Reid saying that had they scored the touchdown first, they were going for 2 because they believed in their defense that much. They wasn't gonna settle for kicking no field goal. They was gonna go for 2 and say, "Hey, defense, y'all can't let them score a touchdown."
Right. And Spags gonna have them boys ready because they've been ready. Y'all seen what Chris Jones was like? Hey, y'all, come here. Come here. I'm like, they ain't got nobody over there on San Fran side who's finna gather everybody up. We beating ourselves. And yeah, man.
So
it was fun, man. I ain't gonna lie. It was just
it was a damn great Super Bowl game, man. 1010%. All right.
Halftime show was lit.
Shout out to Usher, man. Yo, I mean, we talked about Killer Mike last week. Bruh, that is I don't want to go on a tangent. I want to stay focused, but I just wanted to say, like, just think about it. Let us know what y'all think in the comments. And this may not even be breaking news. It's really not breaking news, but
it's not.
The run Atlanta is having to have Killer Mike sweep the Grammys and then have Usher follow that up with being the lead act for the Super Bowl at halftime was just like, yeah.
T.I. is actually funny.
Andre, not mistaken. Was
Yo,
the house is here and they got something to say.
The South is here and they have something to say. And even deeper down in the South, the heart of the South, out in Houston, Texas, real quick.
We are from Houston, by the way. Even though I'm wherever I am, he in Atlanta, he in Conroe, and I ain't even here. We are.
So we gotta give a supreme shout out to a Houston legend, a Houston Hall of Famer, our boy Andre Johnson is getting him a gold jacket, putting on for the city. Shout out to Andre Johnson, man.
Congratulations.
Long time Houston Texans player.
That's was a big
officially inducted into the
David
NFL
was
Hall of
pissing me
Fame.
off.
Get him some help, Lord. Get him some help.
David Carr used to make me mad. But hey, Cortland Finnegan, yeah.
He forever famous. He on
you
site.
You know what it is with you? You know what it is with you? I ain't on that side no more, but it's still always up with you, fam. You know what I mean? And to the dude that headbutted Brian Cushing when his helmet was off, you too. It's up with you too.
Now he had Cushing headbutted him.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, but it's always up with him because you see what was happening. We was ready. Yeah, stop playing with me.
Yeah.
Y'all lost like Mario Williams. Why did we draft Mario Williams?
Bro, and it's crazy that Andre Johnson.
We could have got Khalil Mack.
Bro, I hate the fact that his final 2 years were actually spent in the AFC South with the Colts and the Titans. That like bothers me. I wish he's just like true blue Texans all the way through and through.
Did he get on the field? Did he even get on the field?
Yeah, no, he played 16 games with the Colts in 2015.
You remember Andre Johnson playing for the Colts?
I'm looking at the stats right now. No, I don't remember.
I'm glad my eyes ain't never seen that, boy.
I was just looking at stats, but now Andre Johnson finishes with over 1,000 receptions, over 14,000 receiving yards, and 70 touchdowns. Well deserved, man. Shout out to a living legend in Houston, man. Andre Johnson, who also graduated from the same school as my wife, that being the University of Miami. All right, so
Hey,
the show.
can I do a quick shout out to Aaron Glenn? Aaron Glenn is defensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions, and he was a longtime corner for the Texans.
True
And
indeed.
so just want to shout him out here on Respect the Game podcast.
Shout out to Aaron Glenn. I definitely remember him putting on for the city at the cornerback position. All right, show is winding down. We have our brother Shanahan Izzo isn't here for us to do our over-under talk, but we'll hold it down for him as we have to recap an over-under bet that we had with everybody on the last week's episode. But before that, we talked about Kyle Shanahan coming up short in big games with his Super Bowl history. So the $1 million question for everybody is, you have a game of your life. This is a game of your life. You could choose which sport you want this game to be played for as it regards to saving your life. However, if you choose the sport of football in a game of your life, the coach you have to go with is Kyle Shanahan. Or if you choose the game of basketball to be decided for the fate of your life, your head coach is Doc Rivers in a game 7. Which coach would you rather have coaching the team that's playing for your life? Would you rather have Kyle Shanahan coaching on your behalf in a Super Bowl, or Doc Rivers coaching on your behalf of a game 7?
Kyle Shanahan.
If you were just saying,
I ain't never known Doc Rivers to be no guru or nothing.
I would say, if you were to say a game 7 series, I would say Doc Rivers. But you say a game 7, I'm gonna say Kyle Shanahan.
Specifically just the game 7, because that's the last game for your life. No, I'm gonna go with that.
7-game series. He's 7 or often at all. So I'm not putting my life like when I'm playing
That
my life.
team better have Ja Morant, LeBron, Giannis, Nikola Jokic, and Joel Embiid on it for me to go with Doc.
All right. Well, okay, yeah. No, I was gonna say a game to decide the fate of your life. You got Kyle Shanahan coaching it up 28-3, and you got Doc Rivers in a series up 3-1. Who are you taking?
Doc Rivers.
You gonna take Doc up 3-1?
Yeah. I'm taking the 3-1.
I'm taking Doc Rivers.
I'm taking the 3-1. Kyle Shanahan got one game. I got at least 3 more games with Doc.
Yeah, exactly.
But being up 28-3 in one game, bro, of a football game.
No.
You know you're talking about a scenario that actually happened to Kyle Shanahan, right?
And you know we're talking about a Doc Rivers who has blown a 3-1 lead 3 times.
Fine.
Bro, but this is basketball.
He's like, this is basketball.
After a while, you be like, Doc, shut up. We got this. You can't do that to Kyle Shanahan. Y'all go lose.
Shut up.
Oh, man. All right, man. All right, to finish off the podcast. Last week, we had a bet placed on the pod of how many cameos Taylor Swift would receive during the Super Bowl broadcast.
Over or under, they cut to that motherfucker 10 times.
That's really, if you think about it, Izzo, that's really free, because if we anticipating the Chiefs to win, that's at least 20 camera cuts by itself if the Chiefs win and she on the field with Kelsey.
Wait, no, we talking during the game?
Whole from beginning to post-game interviews, I say we set the over-under at 15 and a half.
I'm going under.
Oh. You going? I would go over, Dacius.
Over.
I'm going under.
And the results are in. it was definitely a worthy bet to take. Taylor Swift over under 15 and a half Super Bowl cameos throughout the entire production of the Super Bowl. During the regulation of the game, she had 10 cameos. In overtime, she had 2 cameos. And then the post-game trophy ceremony, she had 6 for a total of 18. And then you add on the 1 confirmed pregame, her arriving at the Super Bowl cameo for a total of 19 Super Bowl cameos. And 4 of the catches that Travis Kelce made after he made the catch, obviously he had a few big time catches. Obviously, the camera cut it to Taylor Swift for 4 of those Travis Kelce catches during the Super Bowl. So yeah, man. We cashed over, except you, Dacius. You went under. But you under, I mean, I know you probably felt like, oh, they ain't gonna be sweating on her. But as predicted, as long as the Chiefs were gonna be remarkably successful in this game, Taylor Swift was gonna get those cameos. We was gonna get those, we was gonna see Taylor Swift.
I'm like, it's
However,
a Super Bowl, man. They better not be trying to put it on this girl. I want to
however,
watch the game.
however, I also feel like had they lost, the camera would have stayed on Taylor Swift just to see like her give the sad
Oh, reaction?
emotion and
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I have one more bet for y'all. Regarding Taylor Swift. Okay. Throughout all of the cameos for Taylor Swift, with the camera cut into her throughout the Super Bowl broadcast, over or under, what do you think was the longest time the camera stayed on Taylor Swift for one shot? I'm going to set that over or under at 46 and a half seconds. Do y'all think throughout all her camera cuts, throughout all her cameos, throughout the Super Bowl broadcast, with the camera cut into her in between games and after the game and so on and so forth?
I'm going under.
46 and a half seconds.
46 and a half. I'm going under.
You going under, okay. Black Peace, are you going over or under 46 and a half seconds for the longest?
Over with 52 seconds.
Drum roll.
So we're talking about regulation and OT, or we're talking about after the game?
We're talking about what was the longest withstanding shot of Taylor Swift.
Oh, we're going over. Because her and Travis Kelce got like a whole 2 minutes of kissing and shit. That's over. That's easy.
That was approximately, I set the over at 46 and a half. And that, in fact, was the longest withstanding camera shot of Taylor Swift. And that was well over 50 plus seconds. So you cash on over too. Beautiful people, this has been another great episode. Sincerely from the depths of my heart, man. Thank y'all for engaging with us in the comments on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. We're going on 3 years. The love. We sincerely do, man. We're going on 3 years of doing this podcast, and this third year,
we still having fun.
And we still having fun. And in this third year is by far the most interaction we've received from y'all listening to us and engaging with us in the comments, man. So appreciate that. That gives us the energy to keep pushing and maintaining and stay consistent. And we will see you beautiful people next week. Peace.